Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm showing you guys the process of how I achieved this perm rod set using the jumbo turquoise rollers. You guys said that you wanted to see the perm rod set with these rollers after I did my first one using the orange rollers. So let's go ahead and get started. First, you will need some perm rods. I used the turquoise ones and I used 5 packs. You will need a comb and some clips to help part and secure your hair. You will need some foaming wrap lotion. I used the Nairobi one. You will need some holding hairspray. This one is by Chi. You will also need an oil sheen. This one is from Design Essentials. To get started, I like to section my hair off in 4 sections. I am working on freshly washed and blow dried hair. First, I apply a generous amount of mousse to my section, and then I take the roller and I smooth the ends and pay very close attention to the ends to make sure it is wrapped securely all the way around the roller. And then I just proceed to roll up, and then I secure the roller, and that is pretty much it. The key to getting a really nice perm rod or roller set is not using too much hair when you roll your hair. If you use too much hair, one of 2 things will happen. Either your section will take too long to dry or not fully dry, or your curls will not be as bouncy as they would have been. You'll have like more looser curls if you use larger sections. So I would just advise you to use small to medium sized sections if you are wanting those bouncy curls. Another thing that you also want to make sure that you do, and this is very important, is make sure you're using enough mousse, because sometimes you don't drag the mousse all the way to the ends and your ends will like kind of get dry and start sticking up. And if that happens, you'll have like little straight pieces at the ends of your curls instead of it being a uniform curl all the way around. So pay very close attention to those ends. If you have to, there's nothing wrong with adding extra mousse at the ends, or even like as you're wrapping the curl around. Mousse is gonna help just smooth the hair out and get it onto the roller. So don't be afraid to use more if you need to. And another thing that I'm going to advise you guys not to do is not to use the brand of rollers that I used. I used the Diane brand, and I'm telling you guys not to use these rollers is because I mentioned to you guys that I used 5 packs. So let's make a correction. I purchased 5 packs. What ended up happening is about 8 of my rollers broke, and so I had a bunch of rollers that I couldn't use. In these packs, 6 rollers come in the pack. So basically I ended up being left with about 3.5 packs of rollers to use. So on my other section that you guys are going to see shortly, I did have to roll my hair in slightly larger sections, which was okay because my hair is slightly thinner on this side, and I worked it out to where you couldn't even tell. But in the future, if I ran out of rollers, I would just add a smaller size roller to the mix so that my hair was a little bit more balanced, or I would just go back through and just redo some of the other sides so that I would have more rollers. To completely roll all of the sections of my hair, it took me a little over an hour. And after I finished rolling my hair, I put on a satin bonnet and went to sleep. If you do not want to sleep on these rollers, you don't have to. You could sit under the dryer for a few hours and that will get the job done as well. Also, if you don't have a dryer and you don't want to sleep on these, you could do this style in the morning. And if you don't have anywhere to go, you could just let your hair dry for about 5 to 6 hours and you should be good to go. This is what my hair looks like Once all of the sections are rolled up, the next morning, all I'm gonna do is remove my bonnet and proceed to take down my rollers. I'm just being gentle with my bonnet and taking it off. And when I take down my rollers, I don't do anything special. I don't add any additional product like to my hands or anything to take down the rollers. I just take them out. And as you guys can see, my curls came out really good. They are defined, and we are gonna have some bouncy and juicy curls in just a minute. After I get done taking out all of these sections, this is what the curls look like if I was to leave them not separated. But I want a little bit more volume and bounce, so I'm going to separate each curl about 2 to 3 times. The more you separate and kind of mess with the curls, the bigger your hair will be. But if you do want to maintain this style for a little bit longer, then I would recommend maybe not separating the curls as much. But I really didn't care because I knew that I could just re-roll any of the sections the next day if I wanted to. And I'm going for big hair today, so I separated about 2 to 3 times to get the look that I wanted. Another tip that you can do with your roller sets is you can use pins to kind of hold your hair into place. If you have like medium length or shorter length hair, you can kind of use pins to pin your hair to the front or pin your hair to the side if you want your hair to hold in a specific position. I did not do that because I did not have any pins, but when I did my orange roller set, I did use pins, and I will link that video in the description box if you guys are interested in watching that one. The last thing I did was go in and fluff out my roots. This is going to hide any of the parts and also give us a little bit more volume to the style. I made sure I did that in the back and on the sides as well as in the front. Then I am going to spray my holding hairspray to help my curls last all day. And then I'm going to add my oil sheen. This is the finished product. Let me know if you ladies enjoyed this style. Let me know what other styles you want to see. Do you want to see more roller sets? Do you want to see more silk presses? Do you want to see how I blow dry and wash my hair? Let me know. I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.